Welcome back to HPL. We're at the PvP Live Studios in Frisco, Texas. This is Nathan, that's Admirable Zamora, and I'm the Tannen Grace. And we just saw Kranich go up to a 2-0 lead here in this match. He is on match point for 3 straight games. Ostkaka needs a reverse sweep.
Yeah, you can get out there on Twitter and use that hashtag HPL and tag PvP Live in that tweet. Let us know exactly what you think Ostkaka's got to do if he wants to turn this match around. Maybe you actually favor his style and you think that being down 2 games isn't a big deal for him. Well, you can let us know, and you can even let us know on Facebook. Like and comment over there, and we'll be checking out some of your opinions after the game, seeing exactly what you guys think. But right now, Game 3 is getting underway. Kranich is on match point for 3 straight in this one now, and Ostkaka, he's got to win 3 in a row if he's going to win. Game 3, Ostkaka versus Kranich is getting underway.
Hey, I gotta see. Let's see if Kranich sticks to his guns. And oh look, there it is. Yep. Back to the Druid deck.
Yeah, second Druid for Kranich in this match now. And Ostkaka looks like he's gone to his old trusty machine here.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, Freeze Mage, always a dangerous deck for Ostkaka. But frankly, I think he has to be a little bit upset that he's running to Druid in this matchup. This is traditionally not one of the best ones.
Yeah, not one of the best ones. They have a lot of tools to take care of you. Something like an early Ragnaros can actually just run away with a game completely. You know, Druid of the Claw, great minion. A lot of these things are really hard to deal with for Ostkaka out of the gate. And any super fast start from Kranich here in this game will spell doom usually very early for the Freeze Mage
Just
deck.
about to mention another minion that's problematic when you're facing down Druid is Loatheb. They don't always have Loatheb in this deck.
Spectral Knight too.
But when they have Loatheb in this deck, it can be absolutely devastating. Kranich picks up Wild Growth here for turn 2, and he's going to save this coin to make sure he fills out his curve, and it is a beautiful one.
Yeah, absolutely. Ostkaka, not a whole lot going on. You really want to have something like a Mad Scientist here on turn 2, but he does have an Acolyte of Pain. That's a really good one for him. He's going to be able to get, a couple of extra draws off of it as well throughout the span of this game.
Yeah, the second Wild Growth, I think, is largely dead for Kranich at this point, given the fact that his curve is going to be Spectral Knight into Loatheb if he wants to, or into Emperor Thorson, kind of moving forward. We may see him Wild Growth here, though. Want to invest in that kind of board position. Acolyte of Pain is a little bit of a scary minion. He doesn't necessarily want to be giving Ostkaka this pressure, and you're going to see it straight away. He's going to swipe and look forward for bigger turns.
That is a lot of respect from Kranich. You're swiping an Acolyte of Pain, but it is the correct play. You don't want to give them extra draws. Plus, his hand is pretty good going forward from here. He's got an Emperor Thorson, he's got an Ancient of Lore, he's got a Spectral Knight and a Loatheb. You're not going to see the Loatheb until late in the game. It's usually really good after you pop something like an Ice Block against him just to seal the game from there. If you can get an Ice Block pop during a turn, play a Loatheb, usually the Freeze Mage that can't, get back in the game the turn after that. So you're going to see Kranich look for that, and you're going to see this Emperor Thorson really fuel this game going forward.
Yeah, I mean, Ostkaka really going to want to have to deal with this minion, but he doesn't have a very effective way to do it right now. He's either going to have to invest a lot of his reach into killing this Emperor Thorson, or leave it on the board and let it kind of rain terror. And I think with the way his hand is constructed, he's shackled in that option. I don't think he can kill this Emperor Thorson.
Well, he can use Frostbolt and Ice Lance if he wants to do it. That's giving up a ton of resources, so he needs to figure out what's going to happen for the next couple turns from here and what he can afford. His hand honestly isn't very good. He doesn't want this Alexstrasza yet. Blizzard, not the greatest card ever against Druid decks. This Frost Nova, he doesn't have a Doomsayer to couple with it, and this Frostbolt and this Ice Lance are really all he has for utility. So giving up both of those for this Emperor Thorson here is a really big commitment from Ostkaka, but we've seen him do things like this in the past and really commit to his lines. And yeah, it looks like he's just going to put it to 1 health for next turn.
Yeah, this is going to save onto the Ice Lance. I mean, you need your burst damage at the end of the game. A lot of times Frostbolt will be used in that same vein too, just to make sure that you're setting up bigger turns. But talking about bigger turns that are going to be setting up, Kranich picks up Innervate to couple with his hand right now, and Ancient of Lore is going to give him more options to move forward. Ostkaka going to be using Blizzard and using Frost Nova to try to extend this game as long as he can, but Kranich has got Keeper of the Grove for something like Doomsayer.
Yeah, Keeper of the Grove, huge pickup for Kranich here in this match. Being able to take care of a Doomsayer, just dispelling it, giving it silence. Getting that, that minion taken care of and off the board is a huge part of Ostkaka's plan here. He needs to have something like Frost Nova Doomsayer go off when he's presented with boards like this.
Yeah, gonna have to be Blizzarding this turn. I don't see another reasonable play from him. I mean, there's a possibility he saves this Blizzard and just eats 5 points of damage. That's exactly what he's gonna do, it looks like. So kind of paying very close attention to the way future turns are gonna pan out. But Kranich is gonna have no shortage of pressure here in these coming turns, and Ostkaka going to be under the gun very quickly. He is at 29 though, so maybe he can actually find himself the time to put himself back into this game.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see Loatheb from Kranich here. I would have much rather seen something like Ancient Lore, draw 2 cards, innervate out this Spectral Knight, attack him. Really hope he has something like we can get something out of his hand like Frost Nova Doomsayer, and you can really punish him with Keeper of the Grove after that, and then still have the Lotheb set up for later turns. But Kranich is just going to push really, really hard. He has a read on Ostkaka's hand, knowing that he doesn't have a lot of stuff going on. Ostkaka has no play this turn. He could Ice Lance if he wants, but that's not even good.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a spot where, at times you can play Lotheb just to add a bunch of pressure. He doesn't want to be seeing Blizzard this turn. He doesn't want to see Frost Nova this turn. He wants to actually push this damage through. It's 14 that he's got on the board right now. That's over half of Ostkaka's life. And when he has the Force of Nature and the Druid of the Claw to add with that, he can actually pop Ice Block next turn.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good aggressive play from Kranich here. It's just, I believe in a lot of situations like this, you can afford to be patient. You have a ton of options in your hand. You already have this Lotheb that is so backbreaking, and Ostkaka's hand is obviously not been great so far. I mean, there's a lot of chances his hand is actually pretty good, but it doesn't seem that way. And you can be patient because there are cards that really blow you out from here. Even though you do have this Keeper, there is a chance now to go, to have some bad things happen to you moving forward from this game.
Yeah, Ostkaka even realizes that his Ice Block can be popped with something as simple as Force of Nature and Druid of the Claw. So he's going to try to play around as much of it as he can. Needs as many extra turns as he can possibly find, and he has to expend an Ice Lance to do this. But frankly, that's a wonderful amount of foresight from Ostkaka.
Yeah, he needs an Emperor Thaurissan. He needed one this entire game. It's really integral to the Freeze Mage deck. It made it so much better after it came out. Getting all these cards, 1 or 2 mana cheaper, you'll see a huge effect of Ostkaka playing 4 cards a turn and really going off late in the game. That's really wants to get to is 10 mana with something like Emperor Thaurissan happening. Kranich going to reload some more cards this game. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I think this is a little bit of a sigh of relief for Ostkaka to see both the Ancient Allures gone. Now if he finds himself in a position where he can sit behind an Ice Block, Lotheb's out of the way as well. If he gets a very big Alexstrasza turn, maybe he can actually turn this back around. He's going to be able to freeze this board out and then kind of sit comfortably with what's going on. The fact that he's taken his time to do this is pretty wonderful stuff from Ostkaka.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Kranich, push for even more here now. These Blizzards are going to start getting a ton of value going forward. This Force of Nature is not going to be able to pop this block this turn unless he wants to use this Keeper with the Grove too, but he doesn't have enough room for all of that.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is he doesn't have the room for all these minions. If he wants to unfreeze a minion and then charge Druid of the Claw at him, he can use Innervate to pop this Ice Block this turn. I have to believe that's what he's going to do. But now also both the Keepers of the Grove are out of the way. The bigger problem with this is that Ostkaka is going to be at 1. So every single turn for the rest of the game, Druid hero power threatens to actually kill you in that position. And that's exactly the spot that Kranich is going to put him in. And Ostkaka really in a bad spot now. I mean, to me, it looks like he needs something like Antique Healbot, or he's going to be completely out of this game.
Yeah, he's in a really hard place from here. He's going to have to Blizzard and Ice Block next turn, and he's going to be taking damage again, and he's going to have to do something like, he just doesn't have enough ways to.
Ice Barrier is
a
very good draw right here. So now Kranich's board is completely full. He actually can't play any more minions or add any pressure to this board. This Ice Barrier, a huge factor. And the fact that he's already seen a swipe, I have to believe he feels comfortable in the position. Kranich, other than Wrath, his own minion for one, has no other plays this turn.
Yeah, this was actually the best draw in Ostkaka's deck going forward. He really needed Ice Barrier that turn to help get his life total up to a high amount, because he can Blizzard again next turn, and then, or he could do something like Flame Strike and take care of all of Kranich's board.
He could also just Frost Nova again and continue to buy himself a lot of time moving forward. I mean, something like Emperor Thaurissan for him is...
If you draw something like Emperor Thaurissan, you will see something like Frost Nova. He's going to keep his cheaper interaction for turns where he needs to play multiple spells, multiple cards. When he has something like the turn that's going to be presented to him going forward, he's probably going to do something like Flame Strike, and then, use this hero power or something, use the most expensive ones early.
Yep, Kranich realizes that playing to swipe, not something he wants to do this turn. He's going to hang on to his spells and try to make more use of them. As this board part starts clearing out, he's going to have room to get that charge damage in, so Ostkaka has to start getting something done here, and I believe it probably starts with just trying to buy yourself more time with Frost Nova.
Yeah, there's Frost Nova, there's, you can even do a Blizzard thing, you can Flame Strike this entire board away, get a Loot Hoarder on board. He needs to start he needs a turn from Kranich. He needs one turn from Kranich to where he can do some kind of Alexstrasza shenanigans, maybe get himself back up to 15, and then make Kranich answer that minion and go forward from there. Usually you want to try to use it to kill your opponent, but in some situations you just have to gain life.
Yeah, I mean, this is a possibility for like Flame Strike here and then Loot Hoarder. Then you would see Kranich actually push for damage afterwards to pop that Ice Block and put Ostkaka back into a comfortable position. And then maybe something like Alexstrasza can actually recover the game for you.
Yeah, that's the only reason I think he might hold on to something like Frost Nova, though it is a very good play here. Keeping Kranich's board completely full. It's another turn where he doesn't get to do anything.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what he's going to do too. Flame Strike's going to happen. Loot Hoarder's going to make sure he picks up extra cards. And now really the onus is on Kranich. How does he deal with this board position? I have to believe he wants to pop this Ice Block this turn.
Yeah, you have to push in for 8 damage here. I have to believe he's going to force a Nature Druid of the Claw and then make Ostkaka deal with it from there. You can't give him the extra turn. If you give him this extra turn, he starts having things like Alexstrasza, Blizzard, things like that going forward, and you can actually feel this game slip away. This is like really aggressive and the right line because it forces Ostkaka to do a lot of things for the next couple turns, and you have both his ice blocks out of the way now.
The actual big difference here, though, is that Ostkaka is not at 1, he's at 2. So if he can actually, get this board frozen and sustain from this spot, he has a pretty good chance to start winning this game. And with an Archmage Antonidas, I mean, this might be the turn that he actually maybe tries to invest in something, but being out of ice blocks at this point and being so low on life, he's going to Alexstrasza himself and make sure he's protected for as long as he can.
Yeah, and getting this Alexstrasza in play is great, too. It gives him an 8/8 threat that Kranich has to start to deal with. It allows him to start eating minions, too. He can start attacking here instead of just dealing with stuff. Wow. And he'll be able to use Blizzards and Frost Novas and Archmage from here. He might be able to get into this game. This Blizzard is going to get a ton of value here. It's actually going to pick off the Shade as well.
I don't know if he's going to Blizzard here. This looks to me like an Archmage Frost Nova turn, or even a Flame Strike turn. That's a massive draw from Ostkaka at this point. I cannot believe he actually might be back into this game. The assault that Kranich has had put a massive amount of pressure on Ostkaka, but his patience in this game and being completely on point, he has a chance to win.
Yeah, I've got to believe it comes back to that Lotheb play. If he just holds on to that Lotheb, it was a very aggressive play early in the game. It looked good. If he holds on to that Lotheb, there's a chance that he just gets him in one of these turns here later in the game. Maybe a turn or two later, but he still gets him with the Lotheb after one of these ice blocks and puts Ostkaka in a spot where he can't possibly win.
I love the pressure that Kranich was applying with that Lotheb,
yeah,
but Ostkaka one-upped him with that, used a 6-mana Ice Lance to buy 5 health, and that has led to this stage of the game.
He's picked up this Emperor Thaurissan as well. If he can get to a turn where he gets to start doing that, he can start having gigantic turns of Archmage.
Look at this. Ostkaka has complete control now.
Yeah, there are 2 Wraths left in Kranich's hand. Oh, Dr. Boom, what a draw.
Huge draw. But, at this point, he has to be worried about everything being checked at every single step of the way. He's just seen Ostkaka have an answer to everything that he's thrown at him. He was so close to winning this turn. He's going to have to double Wrath to clear out this Alexstrasza, and that's going to open the floodgates for Ostkaka to play whatever he wants. And Innervate's going to make sure Dr. Boom hits the table this turn.
Wow, what a draw.
Wow, back and forth this game has been. So he actually drew a card off of this Wrath. Wait a minute, he can't kill the Alexstrasza.
Yeah, he used the Wrath to just to cycle. He wanted an extra card.
This game, I think, is over right now. He's got Archmage Antonidas and Frost Nova to keep this board in check. He's going to push through 8 points of damage, and then Fireballs are going to come raining in right now. Kranich needs some massive draws right now. He does have Innervate in his hand, so he could draw back-to-back Force Natures. He doesn't have any Force Natures left, does he?
I have to say, there's not many draws left in Kranich's deck that actually get him out of this position. He is actually just dead, I think.
He's got to draw to the card. I mean, what can he draw in this spot that's going to save him? He's out of Ancient Allures. That's not a taunt minion. He has no way to check what's on the board, and Ostkaka has won this game.
This has been unbelievable. Ostkaka just played great through the whole thing. Not that Kranich didn't play well, but I would have loved to have seen him hold on to that Lotheb there.
Wow.
I really think that was the turning point in the game. It was such an aggressive play, and sometimes you have to make really aggressive plays in this game, in this matchup to win. But again, if you could just hold on to that Lotheb till a turn after an Ice Block pops, you get a pretty easy win from there. They usually can only play maybe one spell after that, and they just can't develop enough. You saw Ostkaka develop just enough every single turn, and then Alexstrasza got him that 15 life back, and he won from there.
You're truly
what
watching
a great game.
A master of Freeze Mage. Ostkaka investing 6 mana into an Ice Lance to buy 5 points of health. That was the catalyst for him being able to move forward and keep control over this game at every single step of the way and have enough time to get through every single play that he wanted. This was just an absolutely beautiful game from Ostkaka. And if you guys want to check out this recap, you can head over to pvplive.net and see it for yourself. I could say without a doubt I would not have played the game the same way that Ostkaka did, and I would venture to say that there is at most a handful of players who would have done it the way that he did. An absolute masterpiece from him in that game. They're making changes to their decks right now, and when we come back, Game 4 is going to be getting underway. Ostkaka has taken his first step to completing a reverse sweep here in HPL. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.